Good morning, Portland. I'm BJ Triplet, and this is the show where we highlight all of the shenanigans from Antifa and Black Lives Matter over the weekend. And before we get started, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, smash that notification bell, and share these videos with your friends. Because if you share these videos with your friends, I can get around those algorithms with YouTube and go to shamarisdyer.com, because if you buy something from Shamaris Dyer, then I can keep bringing you these videos. Let's get started. Let's get to the highlights reel. All right, everybody, let's get into this, because there was a lot that went on this weekend. I don't know if you heard about this, but there was a police officer that was just trying to stop somebody for speeding or drunk driving or whatever it was, and Black Lives Matter and Antifa have changed up their tactics. And rather than going after the riot control police, who are now deputized, they're actually going out and just harassing police that are doing their everyday duties. You pull somebody over. You don't know if that person was driving erratically. You don't know if that person was drunk. You don't know if that person had an expired license or stole the car or whatever it is. And you're going to go and you're going to stop a police officer from doing his duty. And when he tries to get on his bike to go after that guy because you guys let him go, You're going to stand in front of his motorcycle, and when he pushes you out of the way, you're going to lay on the ground and scream and cry and say, "Oh, medic, medic." Oh, don't worry about it, everybody. Don't worry about it. She's fine. She's fine. Yeah, she was at the rally the very next day, cussing police officers and throwing stuff at them. So she's okay. She's good. She's good. The Portland Police Union chief introduces a 2022 ballot initiative to limit the right to assemble. I love how the Oregonian frames this, because this is not what this Portland Police Union chief is introducing. He is not putting controls in for free speech. He's putting controls in for rioting. They're attacking police officers, throwing firebombs at them, stopping them from doing their everyday duties to keep the community safe. And these golly, Oregonian, I'm telling you what, man. I'm telling you what, you people, you are absolutely clueless. I'm going to go through some other stories about people packing up their businesses and leaving Portland because of the riots. I'm going to talk about all of the money that we have to spend on police officers doing their job. The amount of money that Portland pays to police this stuff. And they're not even policing them. They're just sending them out there without any gear and any... it's double the cost. It's double the cost. We're paying everybody in overtime. And I'm going to show you how the city council meeting went. We got a lot to get into, people, because this is insane. These people are nuts. People are nuts. But let me show you this one first. Carly Ann Ballard was reportedly hit in the face tonight by an impact munition from police outside the Justice Center. She appears to be violating her federal release conditions by staying 5 blocks away from the courthouse. She's accused of assaulting a cop. I am getting so tired of this. Let's go to the city council meeting, because you got to see this. Let's take a look at that.
Nothing to do with hiding my identity. I'm taking away my individuality. I represent a mass of humanity who are tired, hungry, poor, and huddling from tyrants like you, Mayor Wheeler. Yeah. I am so done coming here and using big words. I haven't even done it that many times, but I am done. I am done watching you look at me with that look. You're talking about sanctuary? We know it is a pointless term. It means not a goddamn thing. I have been up all night. Literally, I have not slept, stewing over the fucking fact that one of your pigs shot a boy point blank range with a fucking assault rifle, Wheeler. This is out of control. It's ridiculous. It's over. Sanctuary? What sanctuary? Sanctuary from the rivers of fucking blood running our goddamn streets? Sanctuary from the fucking cold? It's over. There's no more asking you for a goddamn thing. Fuck you. You are a cap. And you may all interrupt my testimony as much as you like. As much as you like. Because your righteous indignation fills me with a fire, comrades. I will tell you what, Wheeler. What do you think this is? It's a fucking gas mask. My own capital, my own labor. I had to put into this to protect myself from your violent and oppressive paramilitary organization that only thirsts for blood. You are a capitalist, a treasurer, a statist, a tyrant. You are nothing to me. You are just scum. This is nothing about sanctuary. This is a chew out. To let you know, this is little Beirut, Mayor Wheeler. This is the city of roses, and it has thorns. They're standing behind me. There's people getting real fucking done with fucking around with your cops in the street. You are laying the fucking seeds for an insurrection on the record, Jeff Singer. It is not a threat. It is a fact, and it's a fact. You are building towards something that's going to blow. Go fuck yourself, you fucking pig.
Thank you.
Now, you saw that. They admit Ted Wheeler has set up a sanctuary for Black Lives Matter and Antifa. He admits it, and he's pissed off because Ted Wheeler actually has the police out there doing something about it. But let me go through some of these stories. Because everybody's got righteous indignation on both sides right now. Let me go after this this story here, because the murder rate in Portland has doubled. There's gun violence everywhere in Portland because all of the police have to worry about Black Lives Matter and Antifa running through the streets, destroying everything, burning out businesses, sending all of these businesses away. But here's a woman. She actually moved here about 20 years ago because she didn't want her children involved in gang violence. Residents described community impact as police note increase in Portland shootings. Portland, KPTV. New numbers from Portland police showed troubling increases in gun violence this year, with more than 100 shootings each month of July, August, and September. Feeling the impact of those numbers are Portlanders themselves. On July 25th, 2 men were shot at the intersection of Division Street and Southeast 158th Avenue. One of the men died, the other was seriously injured. My nephew came here whole and left in an urn of ashes, said Elmer Yarborough. Yarborough is talking about his nephew, 27-year-old Tyrell Penny. Penny was the father of 3 and had been battling sickle cell disease when he came to see his family in Portland after being released from the hospital. Penny and his mom lived in Sacramento. She actually moved here about 20 plus years ago because she did not want her children to be involved in gang violence. Both of her children's dad were involved in gangs, Yarborough said. I'm dying here in Portland was the very thing his mom tried to take him out of here to avoid. Penny was the cousin of Masiko Walker. They were shot outside a bar on Southeast Division. Penny died at the scene. Having to get the phone call and tell my sister that her son died was one of the most painful things I ever had to experience, said Yarborough. Ted Wheeler is absolutely an incompetent man. He has created a sanctuary for Black Lives Matter and Antifa. He was so scared that Proud Boys were going to cause violence that he deputized his police. And while everybody cheered, people like me were going, "You're making a mistake, man. You're making a mistake." Black Lives Matter and Antifa have been guaranteed that the police would not go after them. They have created a sanctuary in Portland for Black Lives Matter and Antifa. And I've told you before, Antifa and Black Lives Matter are one and the same, and I've got the receipts. I can show you. They are one in the same. Watch this. You have the bicycle police pushing everybody back. Oh, wait a minute, what's that? That is the Rose City Antifa symbol and the Black Lives Matter symbol right there. Antifa are one in the same. Nobody can tell me otherwise. Nobody will ever tell me otherwise. And Joe Biden said that Antifa doesn't exist, it's just an idea. Let's get to our next story. This is from Law Enforcement Today. As Portland continues to skyrocket, the feds are making it clear local police will stay federally deputized, and Ted Wheeler and Kate Brown are absolutely pissed off about this. The city council is pissed off about this. The politicians in Portland, Oregon are pissed off about this because they're actually starting to arrest people and, do their jobs. Well, let's read. The city of Portland, specifically the city's east side, has been subject to several shootings over the past several days, with some being fatal. But with the ongoing gun violence in the city, reportedly Commissioner of Police, a.k.a. Ted Wheeler, is still being pressured by city council to avoid reinstating the PPB's gun violence reduction team. Let's see, from this Portland, Oregon alert, Portland police on the scene of deadly shooting in Northeast 111 and Sandy Streets, closing the area. No further information available. Let's see, one of the recent shootings took place on September 28th at approximately 12:52 a.m., which PPB officers were able to find evidence of shooting in the intersection of 82nd Avenue and Roses and Sandy Boulevard, but couldn't locate the victim at the time. However, PPB, Public Information Officer Derek Carmen later confirmed that shooting victim had made their way to the hospital, which may have been linked to the incident. On September 29th, officers also responded to a shooting incident on I-205 overpass on Southeast Foster Road roughly 15 minutes before the 2 in the afternoon. The incident said to have not impacted any victims, but the evidence was collected from the scene where there was shooting reported. PPB Public Information Officer Melissa Newhard commented on the investigation is still in the works. Officer arrived and found evidence of gunfire, but no known victims located at this time. However, the investigation is ongoing. The crime in Portland is absolutely horrifying. You can't even wrap your mind around how Ted Wheeler and the city council and Governor Kate Brown can be all for this. You can't even wrap your mind around it, and nobody can figure out, with all of Donald Trump's flaws, how people can still prop him up as the candidate to vote for, while the Democrats are either paying the bail funds for these people or putting out PSAs for people like Kamala Harris to pay the bail for these people. They are violent anarcho-communists. Violent anarcho-communists who are hell-bent on destroying the city of Portland, and they are being protected by Ted Wheeler and Kate Brown. And when they made the mistake of deputizing these Portland police because the Proud Boys were coming, it pissed Antifa and Black Lives Matter off to the point where they were cussing him in a city council meeting. How dare you say this is a sanctuary for us? Which admits Ted Wheeler has set up a sanctuary for Black Lives Matter, and they are actively seeking to screw their police department over. Ted Wheeler is the police commissioner. Ted Wheeler is the police commissioner. It is sickening. And people in his city are dying left and right. You have police being firebombed by these people. And I don't understand how the people of Portland could possibly be for this. Let's get to the next story. A viral video out of Portland shows a woman holding on to an American flag while reported Antifa members try to rip it from her hands. This is from Andy No, and it was retweeted by Dan Bongino. Antifa fascist terrorist groups that worship violence and destruction. They're also known as racists who terrorize minority communities. They should be prosecuted as terrorists, as the terrorists they are. Only racists support Antifa, and I tend to agree with that. Because you know who's getting killed? It's not white kids in Portland. It's black kids in Portland. People are dying left and right, and it's all in the black community. I don't understand it. Portland, Oregon, KOIN, amid the pandemic protests and homeless crisis, downtown Portland's reputation has been the center of some controversy over the last few months. A new survey is shedding light on how many businesses have closed as 2020 comes to an end. The Downtown Portland Clean and Safe recently conducted a survey of businesses within 213 blocks that make up the area. They said they surveyed 718 retail and restaurants throughout the month of September. Their survey found there were over 430 businesses still open, some by appointment only or with adjusted hours. 170 businesses were temporarily closed and only doing online shopping. Over 20 businesses had permanently closed, and there were over 80 retail locations that were not occupied. On Friday, KOIN 6 News spoke to one local business, and they were celebrating its reopening after the damage by the big protest and riot downtown in late May. Mercantile Portland is open again for the first time in 4 months. It was rough emotionally, and we were down here every day working on it, said Controller Eric Murfitt. We are just glad to be open again. Murfitt said looters smashed through the storefront, sending glass and paintballs inside, and stole thousands of dollars in merchandise. He said it took months of work to restore the shop, but that the grand reopening has been worth it. Really great response from the customers, said Murfitt. It gets us to make sure it's worth it that he worked on this so hard for 4 months to get it looking like this. In August, Greg Goodman, a co-president of Downtown Development Group, wrote a letter to Mayor Ted Wheeler and the members of the Portland City Council about the number of businesses that are moving out of or locating outside the Central District of Portland. The number is like nothing I've seen in 42 years of doing business in downtown, he wrote. You can find a full list of open businesses here. We'll go ahead and we'll give you that link, downtownportland.org. We're open, but the simple fact of the matter is that people are moving out of downtown Portland. Businesses are moving out of downtown Portland. What is the police's job? What is the police's job? You have police officers that are tasked with doing traffic duty. You have police officers that are detectives that investigate murders, investigate gun crime, investigate all of the horrible things that happen to people as far as their sex crimes units and things like that. But most beat cops, their job is to protect the businesses, because the businesses are the lifeblood of any economy, whether it's a city economy, a state economy, or a federal economy. You have to have the businesses working to make sure that money is coming into the city, into the state, into the federal government. Businesses hire people. If you shut down your business in a pandemic, look, that's not, we can argue, that's not your fault. That's not your fault. You're just being cautious. But if you're allowing people to run through the neighborhoods and through the business locations and destroy your businesses, you have to be the most incompetent person on the face of the planet if you think that the businesses are actually going to stay there, especially when you've set up a sanctuary for violent anarcho-communists. No, I didn't figure, you know what, I figured it would happen. Of course, Antifa was running through the city last night saying that Donald Trump needs to die, okay? I get that. They don't like Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a law and order kind of guy, and they're trying to get rid of the police so they can put their police in place to go bash people over the head that don't like their ideas. I get that. But what you're doing, Ted Wheeler and Kate Brown, are driving people out of the city of Portland into the country, and you are making the Democrats look like complete morons. I want to leave you with this. I've been trying to find polls for the state of Oregon that haven't been skewed Democrat, and I can't find them. This poll right here was of 500 people. No poll ever has less than 1,000 people. If you want to get a good idea what's going on, you poll 10,000 people. I was looking for this civics because I was going to report on that. Guess what? They took it down. You can't get to it anymore because they so underreported Republicans in that poll that it skewed it by at least 10 points. They said Donald Trump's got a 12-point lead. What they're doing is they're cherry-picking polls to make people think that Joe Biden is going to win. You realize when I came here, there was only an 11-point divide between Republicans and Democrats. You know why that is? Because Republicans don't tend to come to the polls in Oregon because they think that the system is rigged. That's what I have been told ever since I got here. Republicans in this state know that the system is rigged, so there is no point in going out and actually putting a vote forth, because they're either going to change your vote, change your voting status, or your vote's just going to get lost. But there is a chance, because Joe Biden's unfavorability versus his favorability towards Democrats is a hell of a lot larger than Donald Trump's. 96% of Republicans in this state are going to vote for Donald Trump. But Joe Biden's unfavorability in this state is 43%. So they ask, if the election was given today, who would you vote for? Most Democrats are going to say Joe Biden. Why is that? We've talked about it before. There are stealth voters. You see all of the Antifa, you see all of the Black Lives Matter, you see your company is burnt to the ground, you see that people are dying in the streets and that they basically have taken over the streets of Portland, Oregon, and the police have handcuffs on. They can't do anything. Now, Donald Trump and the U.S. Marshals have tried to put systems in place to deal with Black Lives Matter and Antifa, but Ted Wheeler and Kate Brown are wanting to get rid of those systems that are in place, because they don't like the fact that their little buddies that are running around burning out the black community, killing people in the streets, they don't like the fact that those people are being arrested. They're going right around the district attorney in Portland, who's letting them all out, and they're giving these people federal charges so that they can get those people into jail and deal with it. Funniest thing I saw was the night that the Proud Boys were there. When the police told them to stay off of the streets, they stayed off of the streets because they didn't want to get arrested, because they knew that they would go to jail with federal charges. I laughed until I cried. That was the funniest damn thing that I had ever seen. There was a point where they got beat in the face so much that they refused to go onto the street, and when somebody was walking out into the street, they would pull them back. I'm telling you what. Keep it up, Portland. Keep it up, Portland. You're going to drive this whole state to vote for Donald Trump, and not a skewed poll or an underreported poll is going to help you. That's it. That's all I've got for today. You guys have a good day. You guys have a really good week. Stay out of Portland. It's too damn dangerous to be down there. And if you live in Portland, man, there's plenty of room out in the country here. We'll teach you how to live life like a fucking boss. So, you guys have a good day. Have a good week. We're going to go back tomorrow with another BJ Does. I've got some other stories, especially about Portland and some of the things that are going on. I wanted to say, Kayleigh McEnany, and you guys know that I absolutely love Kayleigh McEnany. She's come down with COVID. The president's got COVID. A lot of people in his administration are coming down. We hope that all of these people are safe and they make their way through this, and I hope everybody's okay. All of the people that have had COVID in the state of Oregon, be well, be healthy, listen to your doctors, and we'll leave it there. If you like these videos, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and go to my website, Chimera's Dyer, and buy something, because it really helps me out. You guys have a good day, man. You have a good day, and we will see you tomorrow.
taking some shit. I feel like taking some shit. Whoa, let's go. I feel like breaking some shit. I feel like taking some shit. I feel like making a change. I feel like breaking some shit. I feel like taking some shit. I feel like making a change. Look, if we don't get no justice and y'all don't get no peace, my attitude is fuck this whole system till we free. Defund the police, that is the aim. Tired of screaming and yelling these names. Teamwork is a dream work. Last words of Elijah McClain. We finna make it some change. We finna make it some change. She calling us in your brain. I put that shit on the game. I'm in the field on the front lines. Face to face with the one time. Stay together, stay tight. They get busy, we come by. Fist up, we fight back. Black powers like that.